It is known as an invisible disease, as many times you cannot be able to pick out that one is suffering from it. I'm talking about the lupus disease affecting thousands of Kenyans already diagnosed and thousands of others yet to figure out their diagnosis. But what exactly is lupus disease?
Lupus is an autoimmune disease where you have antibodies. Antibodies are supposed to protect the body, but now they start fighting the body. It's like you have civil war within the body. And therefore, they can attack every system in the body. They can attack the hair, the blood cell, the skin, the organs in the body. The reason why the body attacked itself is really not known, and even why. But it is thought that there is some increased breakdown of cells in the body. And that happens in normal people. But in lupus, they are able to clear the end products of this degradation of cells.
This time I had TB.
The stories of Wacera, Maina and Obala depict exactly what happens when the body's immune system starts to attack its own cells. For Wacera, it began at the tender age of 9 when she found out after a day's play that she had a swollen ankle on her left leg with an unbearable pain that at her tender age she could not fathom. Wacera narrates that it was only after the pain moved to most body joints that she was rushed to hospital. However, she was not cured by the many prescriptions.
Every night I was waking up with a new joint, swollen and painful. I was taken to Gertrude's, I was put on painkillers, nothing changed. They did tests, nothing was being found. But after getting to meet another pediatrician, he said, we need to admit her, we run some tests, then we see what's going on. But nothing was ever found. I was sent home with about 16 aspirins per day.
From then, she began a journey hopping from one hospital to another with several misdiagnosis reports. The misdiagnosis led to wrong drug prescription that ended up making her condition worse.
One time I was misdiagnosed with rheumatic fever. It affects the heart. There was rheumatic fever, there was I think scabies, because I used to have spots all over the body. And scabies, it's treated by a very stinking solution.
Her father was then referred to yet another pediatrician whom, upon visiting, diagnosed her with juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. However, she was soon referred to the Kenyatta National Hospital after nothing seemed to work, and it was on her third appointment at the hospital when a particular doctor discovered what she was suffering from. Just by a quick glance at her face, the doctor said she had a butterfly rash, one among many other symptoms associated with lupus.
This doctor came, it was around 5 in the morning. He looked at my file and made noise. What is this you're giving her? Can't you see she has a mala rash or a butterfly rash? There are rashes that form across the nose, which are popular with lupus. Can't you see she has lupus? And I'm like, which injections are these people giving me? And that's when I was diagnosed with lupus.
Lupus takes long to diagnose. All the symptoms of lupus don't come at the same time. But the earliest symptoms is arthritis, which resembles very much rheumatoid arthritis. That's number one. There are some subtle differences, which if you have an experience high, you can notice. Lupus has got other things which are not there in rheumatoid arthritis. But the difference also is in the antibodies that you test for. The antibodies can be positive both ways. The main one in rheumatoid arthritis is a rheumatoid factor anti-CCP antibodies, which may or may not be present in lupus. But lupus has got its own unique antibodies. The challenge is, number one, the low index of suspicion among health workers. And number two, the inability for many of the peripheral hospitals to have the capacity to test for the antibodies.
From there, she began the journey of living with lupus, a difficult journey marred with constant setbacks of falling sick constantly. Wacera narrates the number of diseases she has been diagnosed with within this period.
In 2016, I got diagnosed with a condition called bronchiectasis. The bronchioles, which take air to the lungs, become damaged. And you're prone to infections, especially when it's dusty, when it's cold. So, and due to the TB, which had been diagnosed with a few years back, my left lung collapsed. And recently I was told it has to be removed because I keep getting infections which are not responding to strong antibiotics. Yeah, but one can lead a normal life with one lung, just like one kidney. Yeah, so I'm looking at 2 surgeries probably next year.
Obala's life too changed drastically when in 2017 her fingers got swollen and within a span of a week had painful joints, and on her first visit to the doctor she was diagnosed with a completely different disease. However, it will only take weeks for her to get her lupus diagnosis.
I stayed and went back to the hospital after 3 months. That was in March, and my primary doctor said they see symptoms of or signs of lupus, so I need to go see a rheumatologist. I was like, what's that? So I never went to the rheumatologist. Little did I know it was going to get worse. 2 weeks after that, I couldn't move. All my muscles collapsed. So when I saw the rheumatologist, they did the test and they confirmed I had lupus.
A quick diagnosis does not mean that all is well. She had to go through a journey of acceptance, which allowed the medication she was under to take effect. Obala explains her worry of the side effects of the medicine she takes, which can sometimes be severe and lead to blindness.
Prior to me accepting, I was on medication, right? The medication was not working. The doctor said it would take maybe 3 months, sometimes 4 months to work, and they still were not working. So I decided to go to England to get a second opinion because I didn't understand why it's not working. You know, when you have a headache, you take the painkiller and at least 24 hours you feel better. So I expected at least within a month, 2 months, I'll feel better, which it didn't happen. So I got the second opinion, which they diagnosed me the same thing and gave me the same medication. So I thought, okay, let me accept this. Once I accepted it, that's the biggest bit of every lupus warrior I have met. If you do not accept it, the process cannot begin. So things started changing. I started getting my strength back, but it took almost a year before I got my strength back.
After she found out she was pregnant with her 5th child after diagnosis, Obala narrates her constant fear of causing harm to her unborn child due to the strong medicines.
And it scared me very much because the medications that we take affect us. The bone marrow, it affects the red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets, all that. So I was worried for my child. I wasn't sure if, it's going to be safe for them or safe for me. But guess what? Throughout my 9 months, I went in remission. I didn't have any pains. 10 days after the baby was born, it came back.
For members of SCLAD, a lupus and other autoimmune diseases awareness group, it provides a safe space for them to meet others who are suffering from the same condition. Mugo, who is the project manager here in Kenya, narrates the challenges of SCLAD in trying to reach members and the challenge posed by COVID-19, which affected lupus patients greatly, seeing that they already have a compromised immune system.
Basing the fact that the immunity has been compromised, so at times it was even difficult for them even to go to hospitals, because some of them probably are not in a position to afford, a cab, or something, so they have to use a public service vehicle. So some ended up skipping their clinics because of that. There was a time that a medication that is so key to them, the price just shot up, which was so key. You can imagine a medication that was going for around 23 shillings and it shot up to around 100 shillings. Since we are self-sponsored, at times money just runs out, So where does that leave us? We have to put on hold some of these cases. Not that we don't want to, but we just have to put them on hold because money is not there. So this has been a very difficult period, and the lack of meds, because at times meds run out, at times you're not able even to sort a single case. But we pray for better days, we pray for better days. I mean, God being our guide, we keep on praying and hoping that things are going to work out.
Grace Wangui for Hope TV News Watch.